All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're diving into the velocity of AI quoting and looking at how home service businesses across the US, the UK, and Australia are frankly completely changing the game to scale rapidly.
So, if you're a plumber, an electrician, or a landscaper, you really have to answer this one critical question. What actually separates winning a job from losing it? Is it your pricing, your tools, your branding? Sure, those matter, but the data points to something way more immediate.
Speed. It really just comes down to speed. Speed is the absolute ultimate deciding factor here. We live in this era of instant gratification, right? Customers demand incredibly quick responses and accurate pricing right out of the gate. I mean, think about it. When a pipe bursts, or when the AC goes out in the middle of a sweltering summer, or even when a homeowner just suddenly decides they want their lawn landscaped right now, they're not willing to wait around. The contractor who replies first, with a clear, professional estimate, is almost always the one who gets hired.
Let's compare the old way to the reality of today's market. Traditional methods, relying on phone calls, manually typing out emails, crunching numbers on a legal pad, they literally bake hours, sometimes days, of delay into your sales process. And meanwhile, your potential customer, they aren't waiting around. They just want their problem solved. Those manual delays basically hand them the perfect excuse to run straight to your competitor.
Well, this massive bottleneck is exactly where modern technology steps in. Enter the AI quote system. It's an automated tool that uses artificial intelligence to collect customer info and generate estimates super efficiently. Now, think of it less like some robotic takeover and more like having an invisible, lightning-fast administrative assistant working in the background, just handling all that initial intake. So, how does this actually look in practice? It builds a seamless, totally frictionless process in just 3 simple steps. First, it instantly collects customer information the second they inquire. Second, it assesses the project requirements against your own predefined criteria. And third, it instantly fires off a fast, preliminary estimate. It completely shatters those administrative bottlenecks that usually hold up your pipeline.
And the ripple effects of this automation are just huge. You start capturing leads 24/7. So, someone browsing for a roofer at 11 p.m. on a Sunday, they get an immediate response. It drastically reduces your admin workload, it eliminates human math errors, which improves your quote accuracy, and it automatically qualifies prospects. Ultimately, all of this drives up your appointment booking rates and lets you focus on delivering exceptional service rather than just drowning in paperwork all day.
Which brings us to a really powerful equation. Fast quotes equal a positive first impression plus secure jobs. It's all about the psychology of the buyer here. Research consistently shows that when a customer gets an estimate right after asking for one, they feel respected. They feel like their problem is being taken seriously, and that feeling builds immediate trust. It signals to them, hey, if this company is this organized and prompt with their quoting, they're going to be just as organized and prompt when they actually show up to do the work. And that positive first impression significantly increases your chances of securing the job.
Now, you might be wondering about the human element here, right? Because home services is a business built on handshakes and face-to-face trust. So let's tackle one of the absolute most common myths about this technology. Does AI quote technology replace human sales teams? I mean, are we just trying to automate away our employees?
Well, as the source material makes absolutely clear, the answer is a definitive no. AI is actually designed to support your sales teams. It handles the repetitive tasks, which allows your staff to focus on what they do best, building customer relationships and closing deals. It empowers your team instead of replacing them. Just think about it. If your office manager isn't spending 4 hours a day manually typing out routine estimates, they suddenly have 4 extra hours to make follow-up calls, have meaningful conversations with high-value clients, and actually close deals. It literally makes your human team infinitely more valuable.
Okay, another frequent concern that pops up is about business size. People always ask, can AI quote software work for small home service businesses? Because, it's easy to assume that artificial intelligence is this luxury reserved for massive corporate franchises with huge IT budgets, leaving the local mom-and-pop shops in the dust.
But the reality is exactly the opposite. Small businesses actually stand to benefit the most here. You can suddenly manage a huge surge in leads without increasing your administrative costs. Instead of, say, working 80-hour weeks just to keep up, or taking on the massive financial burden of hiring a full-time office administrator, automation lets a 2-person crew punch way above their weight class. It scales your lead management seamlessly.
So, we know it saves time, and we know it saves overhead. But how exactly does this translate to more paying customers at the end of the day? Like, how does AI quote software actually improve your lead conversion metrics? It really just comes down to executing these 4 fundamentals perfectly every single time. First,
Faster response times get you in the door before anyone else. Second, improved customer engagement keeps the prospect interacting with your brand while their interest is at its absolute peak. Third, consistent follow-up processes ensure that nobody falls through the cracks because, as we all know, the fortune is in the follow-up. And finally, consistent pricing processes mean you're protecting your profit margins while presenting a really professional, standardized front. By combining lightning-fast responses with these consistent processes, you are automatically increasing your odds of converting casual inquiries into actual, real revenue.
Now, if you're sold on the concept but maybe a little worried about the technical execution, the good news is you don't have to build it yourself. The source highlights partners like creative web guys who specialize in building and integrating these specific AI solutions for service businesses. They take all that technical heavy lifting off your shoulders so you can really just plug the system in and start fielding those qualified leads.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this to consider. The market isn't slowing down, and consumer patience certainly isn't getting any longer. In a landscape where speed is literally everything, and your competitors might soon be generating quotes in a matter of seconds, is your business positioned to respond quickly enough? Just think about how you're handling your next lead, and what you need to do to make absolutely sure you are the first one to respond.